Just to elaborate a little bit more on the whole light, darkness concept that we were talking about, I had this moment when I was out on one of those night walks, and I remember looking at this area of my neighborhood, and behind it is brush, and I know there are trees there and there's grass, but there was this sign, and in the dark you couldn't read what the sign said, but behind the sign it's just this, in the dark, it looks like this empty place. It looks like there's absolutely nothing there in that spot. And I remember, walking by it, the first time and it kind of catching my eye. But as I continued to walk by it, it was like God just kind of kept highlighting that. And I found myself going, God, what are you trying to reveal to me? Why do I keep looking at this blackness, this blackness? It looks like nothing is there. And if you drive by it during the daylight, there's brush, there's flowers, there's stuff there, but it's hidden. It's hidden because in the darkness, where that sign is, it blocks the light and it creates this void that makes it look completely empty. And even as we were talking earlier, and Whitney mentioned the whole idea of shadows and how you can't have shadow without light. The reality is that sign is blocking the light. It's standing in between the light and all of the life that is back behind it. And if I just looked at it for what it was, I would miss that there's something there. And I feel like when we think about light and darkness, we need to recognize that if there are areas in our life or in the lives of others around us where it seems like there's deep darkness or emptiness or this, I don't know, I'm laughing, but I'm thinking this pit, like this black empty pit, that there's nothing exists there. We need to recognize that there's something blocking the light. And we need to be the light bringers. God said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. He said, I am the light of the world. Those who believe in me will never walk in darkness. He says that we are his sons and daughters, that we carry his light. Scripturally it talks about, don't hide your light. When we hide our light, we allow these places where the light is separated, where people are walking in darkness. We need to bring the light to that place. We need to expose the life that exists. We need to be light bringers to the dark places. And we need to recognize that when we see darkness, it's an absence of light, but we carry the light. And just like that spot on the road that wouldn't look like that if light was there, we need to look at the landscape of the lives around us and realize that we're meant to bring the light so that those places don't look like that anymore for other people. That when God's light enters and invades, it changes everything. And we're meant to be that to the world around us. We're meant to change the world around us, not by our stuff and I don't, it's not me that change. It's God in me that changes. And if we can get a hold of that, think about what could happen. Think about those situations that are dark and gloomy and despairing, and it's just incredible. We are the light bringers. And if we wrap our minds and our hearts around that, what God could do with that for us.